On a perfect day, when you are surrounded by peonies, it becomes clear that they are not all the same. They vary in height, in color, in fragrance, and foliage, even in the amount of petals on each beautiful bloom. So it's easy to wonder where they came from or how they came to be. One thing's for certain: each specimen is the product of science and dreams. Welcome back to Twilla and Jillian.
It's like this.
Yeah.
Oh
And the
my
thing
gosh.
is, if you're here in the evening by yourself,
It's massive.
the scent, it just like as you enter the field, it's a soft scent that fills the air. And as the wind blows towards you, you just take it all in, and it's not a harsh scent, it's very subtle, but it's very unique. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
very
not
nice.
like a rose, like a deep rose.
No.
It's just something so gentle, right?
And it's almost like the air that you're breathing is just so like healthy and so like it's inviting actually. It's a nice place to be. In the evening is my favorite time to be in the field. It's so still.
Yeah.
The birds are not as noisy and stuff like that. The wind kind of settles down.
The light too, right?
The light, I love the light. I call it the witching hour
Yeah.
because the light kind of just before sunset,
Yeah.
the peonies just, they glow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty special. So right up here is one of my all-time favorites. And you'll see why. So this is it right here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is called Old Faithful. And it is a herbaceous hybrid peony, and it has this beautiful dark red flower, and it's nearly perfect, and it has a really stiff stem which holds the flowers really high above the bush.
Yes.
And it is like an old friend. It just comes back and it gets bigger and better each year.
And side buds. Look at these.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing is, if you come over here, you can see when I'm breeding and I use this in my breeding program because it's such a nice plant, but I'm breeding for the flower carriage, how the flowers held up above the bush, nice stiff stems. The foliage on this, look at this, nice large foliage.
And it feels like substantial, like thick, right?
It's very
Like
thick and
got-
glossy, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
substance.
Yeah, it's a very nice plant.
Wow.
Yeah. I actually love growing peonies, and I do grow a lot of peonies, but actually my passion lies not in growing peonies and selling peonies to customers, but actually a new passion has developed, which is hybridizing. And I love hybridizing, and it's been the last 4 years that I just started, and it's almost like an addiction. So this row here is very special to me because these are my babies. This row all the way up there are peonies that I've collected from all over the world from different hybridizers, and I collect not just based on flower, but I collect based on genetics. So I look to see what's in the parentage of the plant, and then I want to move some of this material forward into beautiful new plants. And most of the material here are herbaceous hybrids. And herbaceous hybrids are generally single to double, but they have a stiffer stem. They have wider foliage, bigger foliage. They have one drawback: they don't have fragrance, but they have such an array of color in them, color that you don't see in a lot of lactifloras. So this is kind of like an avenue that I'm kind of going down, and exciting to be doing. In this little box is all my genetic material. This is pollen that I've collected from different plants that I want to hybridize with. So you've seen pictures of some of my pollen collection before. And so I will collect pollen and I would take it home and then I would dry it for a couple days. You just want to hang on to that?
Yeah, sure.
And then I just put it in these little jars, and I use this little paintbrush, and then I just put the pollen on the peony, and then you'll see the process I'll show you later. But these paintbrushes I actually made myself from my daughter's hair. And so I always think about that each time I'm working with the plant. But the thing about human hair is the pollen really sticks to it, and it applies really nicely. So that's what we'll be doing with that. So this is all the genetic material right in here. This is Blushing Princess. There's a lot of really interesting stuff here. Blood Moon, Sunny Boy, which is a really nice yellow. This one here, who knows, Lemon Chiffon, which is that beautiful lemon yellow peony, full double. So let's just go down the row here, and we're actually going to do some hybridizing. So here we are, and we're going to do a demonstration on hybridizing. Now this peony right here is called Pastel Roma. It has this really nice pastel flower on it, and it's almost a full double, but not quite. And we're doing this for just demonstration purposes, because this bud is actually opened already, and we want the bud nice and tight where the bees have not accessed the plant. So what I would do is I would come up in the morning and do a lot of my pollinations in the morning. And so I emasculate the flower, which really means you take off all the petals from this flower. All the pollen has to be removed, because the pollen, if I leave on the pollen, it contaminates the cross that I'm actually going to be doing.
Right.
All right. And so I just make sure that it's nice and clean. There's no pollen there. It's just perfect. So it's a little bit of which.
Goodness, which
I have to
one?
decide which one I want.
Oh, wow.
So one of my favorites is, it's a new peony that just came out last year. It was just registered, I believe, or a couple of years ago. It's called Triton, and it's a very nice big pink. It could be my favorite pink.
Oh my goodness.
One problem that I have is I buy these really nice peonies that are in this row, but I never get to see them bloom, or hardly ever, because I'm always hybridizing them. So, because I always have to rip off the flower, the petals and stuff. So this is how easy it is. You get the dried pollen, and you put the pollen right here on the peony. You just put a little bit of pollen grain on top.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then I know exactly that this is Triton. So I go dig into my box, and I utilize these bread clips.
Yeah.
Now, I told someone once that you can eat a lot of bread to collect the bread clips, or you can just buy the bread clips. So I decided to buy the bread clips. And I'll write the pollen parent on the clip, and I just attach it right to the stem like this.
Okay.
It's very interesting. And this way in the fall, when everything is gone and it forms seeds, I'll know exactly what I crossed it with. And then what I do is I get these little glassine bags, and I just put it over top of the peony like this. I crimp it at the bottom so no insects can get in.
Yep.
And slide my red clip up to protect it. And voila. Now no insect can ruin my cross, and I know for sure 100% that this would be crossed with Triton.
Yeah.
So that's how easy it is. But although it's easy, you want to give some mental thought as to what you want to cross and what you kind of want to get out of the plant. So this one is a pastel. I crossed it with a pink. What I was thinking is I was thinking about a really tall plant, stiff stem, really nice big head on it.
Right.
It would be nice if it was a pastel or a pink.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So then my question is, how long before you know what you got?
So I have to wait till fall.
Yeah.
So I have to wait till fall just to see if it actually produced seed.
Yeah.
And then I have to plant it.
Yeah.
And probably wait a good 5 to 7 years.
Wow. So it's a patience. It requires patience and probably careful note taking and documentation of where you put things and all that stuff. But my gosh, it must be amazing to see it come through.
Yes, and it is actually. In 2019, I planted some seedlings, and I actually got to see them bloom for the first time this year.
Oh.
So it was so nice just to see, what came up.
Yeah.
Lots of anticipation,
Yeah.
a little bit of disappointment. But the thing is about hybridizing, just because you're introducing or you're growing new peonies doesn't mean you're going to introduce all the peonies, and you should not.
Yeah.
You should find something that's unique, distinct, something that has not been on the market before. Because if we introduced and named everything, it just doesn't make sense, right? So I'd say 98% of the stuff that bloomed this year will not be registered. It will go into the compost heap, and no one else will get to see it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's tough as well, right?
Yeah.
So.
That's great. It's the stuff of dreams, though.
Yes,
You're a
it is.
dreamer. I can tell.
I am.
Yeah.
But there was one or two that were exceptional.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring those forward and evaluate them, obviously.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome. That's part of my passion.
So here we are. We are sitting in a field of peonies.
Yes, we are.
I can't imagine a better way to spend an afternoon.
It's been absolutely wonderful.
And talking to Adam, I just learned so much.
I learned so much and just so inspired.
Yeah, me too. And
Yeah.
I can't wait to share more.
Yes.
So you guys, stay tuned. And if you're enjoying watching Twilla and Jillian, do consider subscribing. That way you will get a notification every time we post. Thank you so much for watching.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
More Twilla and Jillian coming soon. Thank you for watching.